Paddy Pimblett wants to get ranked, okay? After seeing Moicano's performance against Dober, you could say he's beatable, right? Guy's got 10 years UFC experience. The guy did what he had to do to beat Dober. But if you're trying to look for a way into the rankings, you want to crack in there. And we'll look at the rankings right now. Well, what guys would be interesting to Pimblett? Okay? And the way Moicano played it afterwards, he says, I think Dober versus Paddy would be a great fight. Actually, it's over here. He says, I want to see Drew Dober fighting Paddy Pimblett next. Let's see how tough is this kid. Very tactical. As soon as I saw that tweet, I knew exactly what this man was doing. Of course, Moicano wants to fight Pimblett. But what he's saying is, hey, I'm rank, motherfucker. Let's watch Dober fight him. Fight my leftovers. So what does Paddy respond back with? Why would I fight Dober when I could smoke you much easier? Literally, Paddy Pimblett gobbled up the bait. Gobbled it up. Moicano falls back. Paddy is calling me out. I fight you any day of the week. Literally set the trap. And what happened? Paddy just fucking gobbled up the bait. I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, how did Pimblett fall for this? How? Now, let me say this about Paddy Pimblett, and I've been saying this recently. I wasn't the biggest Paddy Pimblett fan, but he has been winning me over. I didn't want to see Tony Ferguson lose. I want to see Ferguson beat Pimblett. But when he got on the mic and he had a solid post-fight, and he gave a shout-out to a guy on Twitter that was a very interesting story and a sad story. Paddy's not a bad dude. You may not like his shtick. You may not like watching his moppy hair, on the way to the cage, all this, all that. But he did what he had to do to put himself up there in the spotlight and make him a new red panty night, right? So Paddy did the right things there. Is Paddy the best guy at 155? No, he's not. But his mouth, his social media, his charismatic personality has put him in a place where he kind of calls the shots. Not even ranked calls the shots. So I respect Paddy a little bit more. I do. Okay? Now, him taking the bait over here, I don't know if I respect that, but let's look at the rankings. Let's look at the rankings over here. Let's go to lightweight. Okay? Headed by this scary fellow over here, Islam Makhachev. Okay? When you look at the bottom, Drew Dober now sitting at 15, that he might be out of the rankings. Let me put this up over here. He might be out of the rankings come Wednesday when it gets updated. But you got Dober, you got Bobby Green, you got Renato Moicano, and then we get into RDA and St. Denis, who is fighting Poirier, and you got Dan Hangman Hooker, you got Turner, you got Fiziev, and you're looking at this, and you got to say, okay, you know what? Moicano had some trouble in that second round, right? Even though it was a headbutt, whatever, he did have trouble in that second round over there. He had to resort in the grappling to get the job done against Dober. Now, Moicano's got a bunch of submissions, but Paddy Pimblett prides himself on his grappling. So if you're Paddy, you're probably looking at this and saying, do I want to fight the guy that just lost to Moicano? He might not even be ranked by the time a contract comes my way. Moicano will be ranked. That's the guy. It's the guy you fight to break in. A guy that's in his 30s, guy that's been in the UFC for 10 years, guy that didn't look perfect in his last fight. That's the fight to make. So it makes sense on both sides. Now, why should Moicano take that fight? Because it's easy. It's a big payday. That's why. Moicano could beat Paddy Pimblett easily and get a big bag of money. Maybe on a big pay-per-view, maybe headline a fight night that's just stacked. He'll get a lot of money for this fight. A lot of more exposure. Even if he were to lose, say he were to lose to Pimblett, he could just fucking keep pimping out the YouTube channel. There's so many wins for Moicano here. A lot of situations I would say, hey, man, you're ranked. Why are you going to fight a guy that's not ranked? Well, this is why. This is why you do it. Moicano is not a stupid human being. We learned that when he came on the show. He's a smart guy. Very, very smart guy. People think guys with accents that could barely speak English aren't smart. Moicano has proven that's not the case. He's a very intelligent human being, and he knows what he's doing right now. He's hitting his stride. He understands how to market himself. Even though he's been in the UFC for 10 years, all of a sudden a switch flips. He's got his YouTube channel. He's saying all the right things in interviews. He hits the mic after a big win and fucking knocks it out of the park. This guy is on fire right now. People, like back in the day, I used to love watching a Moicano fight. And when he slid into the DMs after I hit him up on YouTube, I was like, holy shit, it's Moicano. This is great as a fan. But do the casual people know who Moicano is? No. But now they do. especially if he fights Paddy Pimblett. They're going to know who he is. So it makes all the sense in the world. Make the fight. In fact, if Moicano can heal, you have to put this thing. I mean, you have to put this on UFC 300. Quick turnaround. But fuck, give it to me. Headline it. I don't give a fuck. Headline the goddamn thing. Make it 5 rounds. Headline that shit. That's ridiculous. But I would love to see it on UFC 300. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Money Moicano, Paddy Pimblett. Who wins? I think some people will doubt Moicano. I think some people will. Not me. I'm not one of those guys. Let's catch that donation that slipped through the cracks over here. A big
super chat.
$1.99 super chat. Freedom.
New hole. Freeloader no more. Timos and Jess.
No more freeloading. Come on.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you for the $1.99. Now, if you want to support the program, we have a link pinned in the live chat. I want you to gently click it and pick an alert. Play it. Get the song out there. Interrupt the show. Get your words heard on the MMA-Holes Live, or you can hit the super chat. Thank you very much for that. You're wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
I will be opening up phone lines tonight because of the generosity. D-Rest dropping a $100 donation. I mean, come on. I would be doing a disservice if I didn't open up the phone lines after a big hundo hitting the show. So thank you for that very much. Okay, so let's get to the comments in the chat. Moicano versus the baddie. Who wins? And do you guys want me to throw a poll in the chat? Because I could do that. I could do a lot of things here. I'm a man of many talents. Been doing this for 7 years. I know what I'm doing here. Let's put a poll in the chat. Who wins this fight? Let's get to the bottom of this.